Megazone Bollywood 104.8 FM.
Minutes to 9 o'clock on this Friday, the 4th of November 2022. Welcome to the show. If you just tuned in, this is the Breakfast Club on Megazone Bollywood 104.8 FM. Now, I am absolutely ecstatic, and I can tell you this much because I've been trying for more than a year to get this busy man into our studios. And given the mammoth task he had and meetings that he did, he finally took some time off, and we want to really thank him. That is none other than the man behind Ocean's Armstrong, Mr. Vivian Reddy. Mr. Reddy, welcome to Megazone Bollywood.
No, it's so great. Good morning to all your wonderful listeners of Megazone Bollywood. I heard so much about your station, and I know you've been trying to get hold of me, but I'm so glad I'm here. And this is my second radio interview for the morning, and it's all exciting. It's a beautiful, glorious day. I've just come from the Radisson Blue of Slanger Rocks, watching the whales and dolphins go up. And actually, Durban is such a beautiful city with such wonderful people. And I know lots of your listeners reside in this amazing city.
Now, we know Durban is a beautiful city, but I know you have just made it even better and put Armstranga on the map with the building of Ocean's Armstranga. We're going to come to that in just a few minutes. For all our national, international listeners, please, very quickly, who is Mr. Vivian Reddy?
Well, Vivian Reddy is the youngest of 9 children, born from a humble family. My father was a school teacher and an amazing man, that from a young age he got involved in the community, and that is why I got instilled in me from a young age this value of service to humanity. He was a humanitarian, though just a humble school teacher. He built schools in the rural community, in all our areas, especially the Indian areas, in Cliffdale, and Merebank, and Greenwood Park, temples and school. And that's what, from an early age, I've learned that service to humanity is the best work. And that is why I'm known for my philanthropy. And that's what but growing up in a family like that was very good. You know, all of us was 9 children in a 3-bedroom home in Greenwood Park. And it's amazing, you know, the togetherness, and it's a life that I would never exchange for anything else. And the joy, you know, as much as the time has moved on. And then growing up in a family like that and learning great values of integrity and honesty and determination, it gave me the foreground and the background to get into action in Greenwood Park. And one of the things about the Greenwood Park community, it is an amazing, it's largely an Indian community, but we were so united. I mean, we had the Boy Scouts organization, which my brother had started. We were involved in child welfare, every organization, even if it was a political hotbed. And I grew up in that amazing community, and the Boy Scouts was an organization that I served for many years. And even that community, to show you the warmth, in 1971, I was selected to represent South Africa at the Boy Scouts World Jamboree, and we couldn't afford it, 1,700 rands in 1971. And my dad was just a school teacher earning 200 rands a month. And the community of Greenwood Park, they had cake sales and jumble sales, and they raised the money to send to Japan. And I went to Japan proudly, my first international trip, and there I got selected to represent Africa in the World Youth Forum. And just 50 of us, and the guest of honor at the World Youth Forum was astronaut Neil Armstrong. 69 he went to the moon, and 71 I met him. Great inspiration, and I became the first person in Africa to have shaken hands with him. And when my chance came to talk to him, I didn't know what to say. You know, and I went to him and I said, "Sir, can you tell me the secret of success?" And he told me how, as a young boy, when he was growing up, he used to tell his parents he's going to go to the moon, and they bought him a telescope. And it was not even an astronaut program, but as he was growing up in the young days to the primary school, the astronaut program was involved, and he enrolled in this program. He studied hard, and there's an interesting story about how he passed academically, but his breathing heart rate wasn't good enough to be an astronaut. You know, you had to have a certain heart rate. And that's when he met a friend of his, an Indian neighbor, and talked to him about yoga. I mean, yoga is an amazing thing. And he did yoga, and he brought his heartbeat back to the very low beats that astronaut needs, about 45, 50. And the rest is history. Became the first man on the moon. And what an iconic person. And when I met, and he left me with his thoughts after a long discussion. He said, young man, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Perseverance prevails when all else fails, and never give up in life. And those were his parting words. And why I say that, because when I started this Edison business and everyone talks about the success, people don't know that I was almost bankrupt about 36 years ago, because I worked for this big company, and one Christmas party I took all my fellow workers from Pietermaritzburg. I was a branch manager. We came down to Durban, and I was the only person of color with all the whites, and after a couple of drinks, I went to where my black colleagues were eating, and I noticed they had inferior meat and drinks, and those who were brave enough, I invited about 10 or 20 of them to come across and join our white colleagues and participate in their alcohol and meat. And those were the dark days of apartheid, and next thing, all the white executives walked away, and we finished all the meats and drink, because I know I was in trouble, and I said, if you're in trouble, just finish it up properly. And next Monday morning I was called in and fired. But when I was leaving that business, and I told the manager that day, apartheid will be gone one day and I'll have a bigger electrical company. And I didn't have 2 cents in my back pocket. And I tried to get a job. I couldn't get a job. The word spread around, and I was a person that loved blacks and a trouble causer. And what had happened, I had to start my own business. I had nothing. So I had to borrow a bakkie from my sister in Dundee, my elder sister, and 900 rands from family members, especially my brother, and started Edison Power on that platform. And the first job I did was called Harbour Hideaway. And it was a person that was building a hotel and a restaurant. And I went there, took a few staff involved, worked night and day. And at that time, it was 15,000 rands, which was a lot of money. I was so excited. I told my wife, and the bakkie out those days that we had to park in the slope because I couldn't afford a new battery. So we had to kickstart it every morning, and we were going to buy a new bakkie. But at that time, for 2,500, you could buy a brand new Isuzu, not the broken one I had. And I went to collect this money, all excited. It was going to be the change of my life. And there was a note on the company window, the door of the business. It said, "Company in liquidation, contact our attorneys." And I got absolutely shocked. And I went in there. I was so depressed. I didn't know what to do. And I phoned a lawyer firm. He says, "You've lost the money. I hope you don't owe, you start this business, you don't owe people too much of money." And I sat down in bed that evening, and I didn't remember the words of Neil Armstrong. Never ever give up. Persistent, always prevail. You are big as your dreams. And it inspired me. And the next morning I went and met people who owed money, and not too much of sympathy, but I started working very hard, And within about 9-10 months we paid the debt. But within that time I've realized, the electrical business was called Reddy's Electrical, and we're not getting work. And I qualified in big contracts, major contracts. Then I realized, then I must do something about it. And I changed the name after Thomas Edison. I called it Edison Power. And then the calls were coming in, and every one of those calls said, "Can we speak to Mr. Edison?" And I used to say, "Mr. Edison is not in, can I help you?" I actually, in the apartheid days, Edison Power, people thought it was a white-owned company, and I was just the manager. And today, the irony, you phone Mr. Tulani's Electrical, Mr. Van der Merwe answers and says, "Tulani is not in." But those days, and that's it. But when it was found out that this is not a Mr. Edison business, we were persecuted. They tried to bankrupt us. I mean, it was absolutely amazing, the negativity. But when I trained my staff, I used to tell my staff, started training, I should quote the words of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said that even if you are a street sweeper, you must sweep the streets so clean, like the way Beethoven played music or Michelangelo painted. Everyone going past will say you are the best street sweeper in the world. What it simply means, you've got to be best at what you do. And that's how we built Edison into a world-class business, one of the biggest in Africa today, and it's with this quality, and everything we do is perfection. And then as we moved along life, and we talk about it, but that's the background of where I came from.
Mr. Reddy, you have answered 5 or 6 of my questions already in that entire synopsis, so I'm thankful for that. because I want to jump straight into the Oceans development, the Oceans Mall. Now, I was present at the Kiba meeting that we had at your beautiful hotel, the Radisson Blu, and you spoke about how that entire project started off, and that just blew me away. Okay, so look, I know we don't have time to delve into the whole thing, but in a synopsis, let people know how the entire project started, all the things you had to do to move the post office and to get the land and what the land initially was there. Please, we have to know. People need to know this to appreciate what you have done there.
Someone told me the other day, how are you still sane after what you've been through? The Ocean Armstrong project is the biggest mixed-use development in South Africa. It's 4.3 billion rands. It's 250,000 bulk square meter. It's a 250,000 bulk square meters, double the size of Gateway Shopping Centre. Right. It's massive, but it's over floors. And when we started the project, we had to buy the land. And when we bought the land, the reason we had 400 objectors. Then we had to we overcame that. Then we had to remove the ski boat club that cost about 30 million. And then after that, we had to get rid of the telecom building, the post office building. Then there was a massive 6-meter pipe going through the property. We had to relocate that at a massive cost. And when we thought that was over, we had to get the telecom exchange at an expensive cost moved across the road. Then we had to remove 40,000 truckloads of sand out of there to level the site and move the buses and the taxis. So it cost us hundreds of millions before we perfected the site. And we got the site going and we started, and then we had a big problem of 2 building contractors going to liquidation and corporate and the delays. But we built the Radisson Hotel, which opened about 98 days ago. The Radisson Blu Umhlanga Rocks is trading very well, exceptionally well, above 80% occupancy. Has become the wedding venue. We've got the most amazing, in fact, there's an Indian wedding there every weekend. Beautiful chandeliers, can seat 600 people, or even up to 200 can break up. It's become the destination venue. We've got a great Fire Lake restaurant out there at the Radisson. And when you walk into the hotel, it's wow. You've seen it from the sculpture. And the most exciting thing is that on the 15th of November, that's about, 13 days to go, we're opening the most amazing mall in South Africa, the Oceans Mall. This mall is a massive mall that costs 1.3 billion, but what is so unique? When you even walk into those toilets, you think you're walking into a 5-star hotel toilets because you've got a great quality. We've got international brands in there. We've got all the Gucci's, the Dolce Cabbanas, the Burberry, Versace. We've got like our own Diamond Walk in Sandton City. We've got great restaurants like Signature. We've got great Indian restaurants, Chinese. We've got 14 restaurants. And we've got a great Pick and Pay and Woolworths right down in Slangerdorp. But most important, we've got 1,500 parking bays. And that mall is amazing. And I tell you, every one of your listeners, you come around on the 15th of November, you've never seen it. We've got a beautiful piazza for entertainment. And I'm very, very excited about that. And then we start building the 600 apartments on that, above that from the 1st of January. Well, not the 1st, but early in January. And the Oceans Umhlanga was so good. It created jobs, 16,000 jobs during construction. And right now, between the hotel and the mall, there's 3,000 jobs. And we in business need to create jobs. And what is important, when you come into the Radisson Blu or the hotel, everything is different. It's not like, you got to come out there. You come out, it's not like all the other malls in there. It is so warm, it's just so friendly, and we've got everything for everyone there.
Now, I'll tell you this much, as Mr. Reddy is talking now, I remember the very first time we went for the meeting, the Kiva meeting, and we walked into the foyer and then into the lift, and I promise you, we felt we were in Dubai. The lift is in gold, okay? The lift is in gold, so when Mr. Reddy tells you the toilets are going to be 5-star, guys, I can guarantee you he's talking 5-star here, right?
Let me tell you about the lift. Those lifts were designed by my wife, Suresh Naidu.
There you go.
She's an amazing, when we listed her, she said, created a selfie lift. I said, what are you talking about? She says, create a lift where people can look at themselves, feel proud, feel beautiful. And that lift has appeared on social media 26,000 times. And by the way, the Radisson Blu Hotel, since it's open, has appeared 80.2 million times across the world.
Wow,
It's
right.
had a far reach, but that lift is a lift to die for people.
I can imagine. Mr. Reddy, I know we spoke, and while reading up about oceans development, you spoke about something that's brand new to South Africa. You're planning to do what Dubai has in the Dubai mall for a snow venue where kids can play or whatever it is. Is that still going on? Is that going to be ready?
What had happened? We had this beautiful plan on the snow park. We're going to create a beautiful snow park. And unfortunately, when COVID came in, the company that was going to do it, collapsed.
Oh, no.
And that whole idea. So now we're turning it into something amazing. We're calling it's going to be the Oceans Market, where small stalls, if some of your listeners, you want to sell samosas and whatever, you can take a little stall, they're very cheap. We want to promote, we're saying we're building this 1.3 billion world-class mall. What do we do for the small traders? So we're creating the Ocean Market where small people can come in there and sell their stuff over weekends, and we want to create a mall for everyone. But the mall's got exciting international. We're big on fashion. There's a bit of entertainment, but the restaurants are world class. We've got restaurants 400 meters from one end to the other, all along the street, along Lagoon Drive. It's just going to be so much for them. But then in March is the second phase of opening. That's when we open the big Platinum Walk, where we got all these fancy international brands, and that's going to be a next opening of ours. And looking at talking to bring down Naomi Campbell to do that walk, to do the opening and a catwalk. And you know what's amazing about this Oceans Mall, even when you come into the mother's room, the children, it's so luxurious. We are even putting a cot in there. You can, if you want to sit on your laptop and have baby sleep, you could do it.
Wow.
And it's just absolutely amazing. The only thing we forgot to put on there is a TV. I'm just thinking about it while we are talking now. But that's what makes this place so special.
Please tell me why you want to get Naomi Campbell when you have your beautiful wife Surisha Naidu, who can do exactly what Naomi can.
Well, I'll tell you what, Naomi, she's the brand ambassador for some of the international brands out there, Dolce Gabbana.
Right.
So she comes with the territory. No, my wife's excited. It's a very exciting day for my wife today because she is opening the Armstrong laser business she's got. She's moved into the Ocean Mall.
Brilliant.
And she's built a wonderful place right next to the Radisson Blu on the second floor, world class. I haven't seen anything like this in South Africa.
I can imagine.
It's got the absolutely amazing spa and salon, and she's very busy doing it. And also, they're starting this week to shoot the third season of The Real Housewives of Durban. So she'll be back on your screens, within the next few weeks.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you gave her much of a choice because you've given her a venue to create her business that is already a 5-7 star venue. So she has to create a business
To match up to that, right?
Absolutely. She had to adhere to our high standards.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's a wow place.
Mr. Reddy, tell me any upcoming business projects?
Oh yes, look, I never stop. Firstly, we're going to start building 600 world-class apartments. I mean, remember the Oceans of Slanga won international awards, the best architecture design mixed use in the world. So everything about that is unique. You will never find that anywhere else in KZN. Then around, my Quadriguza Mall, I know you've got a lot of listeners from Quadriguza. We are expanding that mall. We're building a value center. I'm putting a hotel in Quadriguza. It's a place of 500,000 people, no hotel.
Yeah.
I'm putting up a hotel there, 300 apartments. And then around Sabaya Casino, we've got a project called Oasis at Sabaya. Most beautiful residential apartments, all overlooking the sea. We're launching it in in December. And it's linked to the casino with all the facilities. We're even going to have timeshare where people can afford to buy it. We'll be doing something, but all these stuff that we're creating, the billions we're spending, is creating jobs. It's creating thousands of jobs.
What do you do for fun, Mr. Reddy? You are so busy doing projects. What do you do for fun? What is your idea of relaxation?
My idea of relaxation is when I switch off. When I get home, my cell phone's put away. We go off electronically. I've got wonderful children, my 2 children and my amazing wife, and I just became a grandfather yesterday.
Oh wow, congratulations.
My younger son, Kuber, and Brown and his wife, they got a little boy. And I spent time at the hospital, and I'm a family person.
Right.
To me, family is number one, and family is everything in life. And those people see me busy all the time, but in the evening, weekends, all reserved for families. And I like to make special moments. Like, it was my wife's big birthday last week, and I surprised her and the whole family. We flew off to Dubai and spent a great weekend out there and came back. Well, it was such great bonding. To me, leisure time, and my son, he's a Manchester United fan. I'm a Tottenham's fan, and we keep losing and they keep winning. We have great times. We have bets being placed. But I love being with my kids, playing chess, running on the beach, playing. We got a big yard at home and play volleyball and netball. My daughter loves netball. And one of the things, the family, we love yoga, because yoga is something that Sarisha is so into. And she's dragged us into this yoga and healthy eating. But we as a family, we love movies. We love our movie nights, and we all together, we just believe that life is not about wealth. It's about family. It's about how, and also it's important about sharing your wealth, because remember, you asked what makes me very happy. We got lots of social programs. I think it's a well-known fact. As a medium-sized company here in Durban, we've donated over 250 million rand to good causes. We support 122 organizations. As I believe that a rich man is poor if you cannot share your money with the needy and cannot uplift other people's life. And we, as businesses, as wealthy people, we cannot live on an island of prosperity surrounded by a sea of poverty. And that's why what makes me happy like this now. After I leave here, I'm going to open a home that we did a big renovations in Wentworth. I think it's called the Cheshire Homes. We saved a lifeline from closing down. We saved life. We built skills training center. In fact, we tell you about the skills training center in Kuala Lumpur. 2,000 young people go through different courses, electrical, welding, we sponsor, there's no charges. And the other day I was here at a major shopping center and at Gateway, and a young guy came past and he shook my hand and he said, thank you, Mr. Reddy, you made a difference. And I said, what did I do? He said, well, I was a student at your course at the training center, and I qualified in welding, and you donated a welding machine to me. And this was just 2 years ago. Today, I have 10 welding machines, and I employ 20 people, and I got myself a house and my own buggy.
Wow.
Now, I've been here by one little act, and then thousands go through. And that's what we've got to do in business. We've got to empower people. And what makes me sleep at night, and I love, by the way, in my spare time, going out and looking at all these various projects. We involved with Stronger in chats. In Phoenix. We involved with Phoenix Child Welfare. We building, funding a project for sheltered abused women. We involved in Australia. In Chatsworth, we've done some great projects there, even for hospice, we're helping them. And all around this province, we are there, with 122 projects, because I believe that service to humanity is a work of God, and that's what makes me happy, and that's what makes me sleep well at night.
Brilliant. Got some messages coming in from our listeners, Mr. Reddy. Very quickly, got one coming from Vijanti Maka out in Ladysmith. Says, greetings, Mr. Reddy. Sir, trust you're well. I've heard so much about your great achievements, and I'm really proud of you. My youngest daughter, Prashani, who is a special care child, always watches you on TV, and she loves your hotel. Says she has become your greatest fan and wishes to meet you one day. So you've already become...
Well, let me tell you, thanks very much for that kind message. I know Ladysmith very well. I built a casino and a shopping center in Newcastle, and once we were the second biggest employer in that place. And I used to always drive to Ladysmith, and I'll give you a quick story. And one day I had a puncture on the road, and 20 people stopped to help me. And it was absolutely amazing. You're a wonderful town, it's a wonderful community, and God bless your family.
And then I got the second message coming in from Tracy Maharaj. She says, wow, what an inspiring story, Mr. Vivian Reddy. Truly an icon in the SA business industry, from humble beginnings to a true legend. Blessings to you and the family. Coming from Tracy Maharaj.
Tracy, thank you very much. Be blessed, my dear, and have a wonderful day, and live your dreams and never ever give up on your life. And
Now-
persistency always prevails.
Now, I know we had a birthday celebration and you've got another celebration in the family right now with the birth of your grandchild. But it was Surisha's birthday last week and you mentioned that to her. So, Surisha, from the entire team here at Megazone Bollywood and of course Mr. Reddy himself. Well, that comes from the entire team here at Megazone Bollywood and of course Mr. Reddy and the entire family wishing you a very, very happy birthday. Mr. Reddy, any final words from you?
No, my final words to every one of your listeners is that, you know, in life, you can become what you want to be. Don't build blinkers, don't build barriers yourself. Break down barriers, never stop at the first problem. I have a principle in life, it's called CANI. CANEI. It means constant and never-ending improvement. What it means that make every day a better day in your life. Improve your life, whatever, relationships, and think about it. When you lay down in bed at night, see what you could have done better. And most importantly, as a human being, you got to practice random acts of kindness. Thank people, greet people. Even that person that makes that call trying to sell you something, it's a job. Take that call. Say, I don't need it, but hope you have better success. Don't slam the phone down. You know, the car guard, you know, they're all doing a job. When we make other human beings feel better and show love, you get love. And this world is all about love and family and relationships. And if you want happiness, just fill yourself with love around you and you will become happy. And most importantly, have great respect for your fellow human beings, because when you respect people, there's just so much of joy and love. And never ever look back in life. Always look forward and never ever give up, and live your dreams, and always remember that problems will happen, but it's how you overcome them that counts. And just and I think a lot of your listeners, the people around you, your families, your husbands, your wives, just bring them together, talk to them openly and show love, and you will become a very happy person. And the final message is goodbye to all of you and have a wonderful weekend, and God bless all of you.
Mr. Reddy, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, taking so much of time off your really, really busy day to come through to Megazone Bollywood and speak to us about all your projects and to tell us about your being. We really, really appreciate it. And we want to wish you all the very best with Oceans and all your future projects that you're involved in as well. And we really look forward to being interactive with you in the future.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to having Megazone at the opening of the Oceans Mall. I'm going to invite you to come out there and come and interview the people and have an exciting time.
We take that as a personal invite. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was Mr. Vivian Reddy, the man behind Oceans Shlanga, and really looking forward to that one. Well, thank you so much for tuning in into the Breakfast Club on this Friday morning. Playing out with one of Mr. Reddy's wife's favorite song. So Surisha Naidu, this one's for you. Mr. Vivian Reddy said that this is your absolute favorite. So playing out with this one just for you. Thank you so much, guys. Just remember that to always be humble in life, or life will humble you.
Megazone Bollywood 104.8 FM.